Hello and good evening. My name is Maria Di Blasi. I am a health educator. I am part of the team at Bridge to Health, New Mexico. Our offices are in Española at 628 Riverside Drive. Our phone number is 505-591-4200. And today's class, even though it's a short one, it's a very important one. Today we're going to be talking about metabolism, what it is, how it works, etc., etc. Now, because this is a very broad subject, it is not easy to cover in half an hour, but we are going to try and cover the basics. And if you do have any problems, questions, or doubts, feel free to drop them underneath in the comment section, and I will gladly answer doubts or any other thing you need help with. And if you cannot, feel free to give us a call, send us a help email, or stop by our website, bridge2healthnm.org. And let's begin. As usual today, I will be helping myself with a PowerPoint presentation and a small video. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the video, and then we will go into the presentation. Thank you, and I hope it is enlightening for everybody. I am going to share this video with you.
Stated Clearly presents What is metabolism? Many people have this vague idea in their minds that the word metabolism has something to do with weight loss. This is partly true. The study of metabolism does include research about how cells build, store, and break down fat, but metabolism is far more interesting than the latest weight loss trends in Hollywood. Cellular metabolism can be defined as the sum total of all controlled chemical reactions that occur inside a cell. Metabolism is so important that several of the chemists working with NASA at the National Science Foundation's Center for Chemical Evolution believe that a better understanding of metabolism could help us finally understand the origin of life itself and better help us know where to search for life elsewhere in the cosmos. We often think of individual cells as things, but in the eyes of a chemist, a cell is a highly active, highly sophisticated chemical system. The cells in our bodies, and as a consequence, our bodies themselves, are better thought of not as things, but as whirlpools. You are a continuous flow of matter and energy. Food, water, and oxygen are constantly consumed by your cells. Waste products like CO2 are constantly expelled when you breathe. Other waste products, of course, exit through different routes. The molecules in your skin are constantly renewed, fully replaced roughly every 48 days. Your bones, though they seem so solid, so permanent, cycle through a full refresh as often as every 10 years. Again, you are a whirlpool. Your cellular metabolism consists of hundreds of different reactions. To make sense of them all, researchers often separate them into two main categories: anabolic metabolism, reactions that join molecules together to build new ones, and catabolic metabolism, reactions that break molecules apart. To remember the difference, think catabolic as in catastrophe, because catabolic reactions destroy things. When you eat an apple, your digestive tract breaks it down into individual molecules: sugars, fats, and amino acids. These are absorbed by your intestines, enter the bloodstream, and are then distributed to the cells of your body. Once inside the cell, metabolic reactions take over, transforming those molecules into little bits of you. While we often take this for granted, this concept is so important and so bizarre that it's worth repeating. A cell's metabolism, its internal network of chemical reactions, takes molecules from the environment, the molecules of an apple in this case, breaks them down and transforms them into pieces of the cell itself. Sometimes the cell builds replacement parts for its own molecules that have been worn out. Other times it builds energy molecules. These act like fuel and will power the cell's future activities. Muscle cells use energy molecules to contract, brain cells use them to help form thoughts, and so on. This chart shows just some of the many networks, cycles, and series of chemical reactions happening inside your cells. As you can see, cellular metabolism is fairly complex. Different species have evolved different metabolic pathways, which is one reason they often use different things as food. Hydrogen sulfide gas, for example, is very toxic to you and me, but certain species of bacteria actually eat this stuff. That said, scientists studying the origin of life have discovered that one very special series of metabolic reactions, the citric acid cycle, exists in one form or another in almost all species studied so far. The fact that it's nearly universal suggests that the citric acid cycle is both extremely old and extremely important. The citric acid cycle, sometimes called the Krebs Cycle, named after the researcher that discovered it, starts when food particles, sugars, fats, and amino acids that came from your lunch, are transformed into citric acid. By binding citric acid together with other molecules and breaking them apart again in a variety of different ways, citric acid is transformed into multiple types of molecules, and then back to citric acid again. Now, this might seem counterproductive, simply spinning in a circle like that, but many of the side molecules it reacts with along the way are transformed in the process, modified into parts, or at least the precursors of parts, that your cell needs to repair damaged molecules, grow, reproduce, and power its movements. The citric acid cycle is the engine of life, the core whirlpool inside your cells. In our case, fats, sugars, and amino acids from our food are broken down and eventually fed to the citric acid cycle. Carbon dioxide and water are produced as waste products that we then breathe out. In certain species of bacteria, however, the citric acid cycle runs in reverse. Water and carbon dioxide are used as food sources and react together to eventually produce large carbon molecules that bacteria use to build fats, sugars, and amino acids. Because the reverse citric acid cycle uses such simple starting molecules, water and carbon dioxide, things that would have been super abundant on the early Earth, some researchers believe that the reverse citric acid cycle has been misnamed. It likely predates the, quote, normal citric acid cycle by millions of years. In fact, some argue that the reverse citric acid cycle, or something similar to it, might predate life itself and may have kickstarted the first living cells on our planet. We'll talk more about that in a future video. So, in summary, what is cellular metabolism? Cellular metabolism is the sum total of all the controlled chemical reactions that happen inside a living cell. Anabolic reactions take small molecules and put them back together to build new ones. Catabolic reactions, remember, catastrophe, break molecules apart. At the core of metabolism is a special cycle of catabolic and anabolic reactions called the citric acid cycle. You are a whirlpool. I'm John Perry, and that is metabolism stated clearly.
So that was the video. It kind of gives you an idea of what metabolism really is. And it is a very cycle and system. So like I said, it's very little time today that we have to be able to go through everything. But let's review a little bit of what the video showed us and kind of consolidate everything we heard. So metabolism, what is it and how does it work? You heard that metabolism is a process by which your body converts what you eat and what you drink into energy. So during this process, calories in foods and beverages are combined with oxygen to release the energy your body needs to function. This is a term that describes all the chemical processes occurring in your body to break down the food and turn it into fuel, into energy. So there are three main components that determine your metabolic rate. These are basal metabolic rate, physical activity, and thermic effect on food. So basically, metabolism is taking everything that goes in and processing it, let's say, to create energy. So your metabolism is your body's fire, is your furnace, and it is responsible for converting your food, your fuel, into energy, muscles, and reserves. So it can be basically broken down into BMR, or basal metabolic rate, TEF, which is the thermic effect of food, PA, your physical activity expenditure, and NEAT, which is a non-exercise activity thermogenesis. So the summary of all of these is how many calories you use in a day, or what people usually consider their metabolism. Okay? When people believe that their metabolism is slow, it's just another way of saying our body is not burning enough calories in a day for all this to happen, for all these processes to work as they should. The sort of people who can do things like eating a lot during the day without gaining food is thought to have a fast metabolism. Although we really can't really say that it's as simple as somebody has a slow and somebody has a fast. There's a lot of things that come into play in this. So again, metabolism is mainly two processes: catabolism and anabolism. The catabolic reactions, remember, catastrophic, break down the large and the complex molecules to provide smaller molecules and energy. Okay, and the anabolic reactions use this energy to build larger molecules from smaller building blocks. Okay, so what does your body need? When we say our metabolic process uses what we eat and what we consume to produce energy. Well, of course, we need carbohydrates, we need protein, we need fat, we need water, we need vitamins, and we need minerals. So carbohydrates, we need approximately 330 grams daily. The carbohydrates are the main source of energy, and the fiber, of course, we've already seen this, contains a lot of health benefits. So the carbohydrates is what is mainly consumed to produce that energy that we need. Protein, which we need 100 grams daily, is made and processed to create structural blocks, meaning it is what we use to create new cells. Fat, we need 75 grams daily. And when we process fat, what this does is helps us store energy, and it helps the synthesis and the repair of certain cell parts. Water, we need 2,000 grams daily. This helps as a solvent. It helps everything break down. It also helps as a lubricant, which means it helps all the parts work like they should. And it also is a medium to transport all the minerals and vitamins and everything else. And it also helps with the temperature regulation of our body. Vitamins, we need approximately 300 milligrams daily, which help the chemical reactions in our body. And last but not least, we need minerals. We need between 5 and 10 grams daily. And what this does is it helps the enzymes function like they should. It helps the electrical balance in our body. It generates nerve impulses, and it helps in bone structure. Now, when we talked about body mass, there's different body masses between people, okay? So why are people different, and why do people have different body mass? Well, first of all, genetics, okay? Genetics pretty much plays a role in everything about you. So just as you can inherit your dad's eyes or your mom's skin, BMR is, of course, influenced by your genes. Age. As we age, our bodies naturally are going to lose muscle, which slows down our metabolism. Particularly in women, when we go through menopause, the BMR is going to decrease because of all those changes in our hormones. Sleep. Sleep is very important. Studies show that people who do not get enough sleep have also a slower metabolism. Hormones, yes, of course, hormones. Hormones can influence BMR. And muscle mass. Men, of course, have higher BMRs because they naturally have more muscle mass. Men are usually also larger than women. Of course, with a larger body comes more need for more calories. And it's part of the reason why many of the women complain when men lose weight a lot quicker, because they spend their calories a lot faster and they need more calories. Yes, I know, it's very frustrating. And of course, the size of your body. The bigger you are, the more calories your body needs to live. Now, also, we had also talked about the gut. We think people are starting to research this a lot more, but everybody thinks that the gut bacteria also plays a very important role in your BMR. And but there still needs to be more research to it. So, fast metabolism versus slow metabolism. Fast metabolism is a stage of metabolism responsible for burning a higher amount of calories. So slow metabolism burns less amount of calories. Fast metabolism has a faster BMR. Slow metabolism has a slower one. Faster metabolism helps you burn more calories when you're doing activities. A person with fast metabolism may be tall and have a lot of lean muscles and will have a relatively active thyroid level. And it also helps you not to gain weight. When it's slower, usually a person would be short and have lesser lean muscle and less active thyroid level. And of course, it allows you more weight gain. So all of the calories you use, the chart on the right is exactly how we burn our calories. So 10% of the calories we consumed are to burn to make exercise. 20% of the calories we use are burned for when we stand, when we fidget, when we walk, when we do other kind of exercise and movement. 70% of our calories are made or are burned to keep our body functioning or running. Remember, our body is a machine. So how can we boost our metabolism? So metabolism is a process in which the body converts, of course, what you eat and drink into energy. So drink. If you drink green tea, it boosts your metabolism. Coffee also does it. Regular aerobic exercise is the most efficient way to burn calories and to jumpstart your metabolism. You have to eat enough. Avoid crash diets. Some people think that you also, if you put a little bit of spice into your food, it also helps, boost your metabolic rate. There's not enough research in that. But also pack more proteins. Do muscle creating exercise like HIIT. Of course, get enough sleep. It regulates your metabolism hormones. And you need to snack smart. Also, remember, you need to drink between 2 to 3 liters of water daily. Now, there's some metabolism myths that we need to keep in mind to believe, and some that we should not believe. Which ones should we not believe? One, there is no such thing as a broken metabolism. All metabolisms are functioning, just some are functioning at a slower level than others. Another myth, you have a sleeping metabolism. There's no such thing as a sleeping metabolism. Your metabolism functions the same. Hot peppers, ACV, and lemon water are metabolism boosters. Although this is a myth, there's research that's going on right now that's trying to prove, which way it is. Metabolism diets do not work. Eating breakfast doesn't necessarily help your metabolism. Also, muscle mass does not boost your metabolism. What happens here is people think that the more muscle you have, the more faster your metabolism. No. What happens is when you are creating muscles, you use a faster metabolism. It's not the same thing, people. What is true? Non-exercise movement is significant. You don't need to go out there and exercise to help your metabolism. Any kind of movement, any kind of physical activity. If you eat according to your circadian rhythm, helps you establish good metabolism. Protein. Remember what we said about muscle? Protein takes more calories to digest. This is something else we need to remember. The diet industry uses metabolism to confound you and sell products to you. Do not believe everything that they're wanting to sell. And you also remember that age, gender, genetics, your sleep, everything we talked about before is impacting your metabolic rate. And of course, thyroid hormones and sex hormones can speed up or slow your metabolism. So what can we do? Let's see, on the right it says eat more, and what we're going to do is we're going to do them in levels. Eat more protein, eat more carbs, eat more fats. Remember, when you're eating more protein, prioritize fresh and lean and minimally processed source of protein. Okay, consider limiting red meat to only about 4 palms or 18 ounces per week. Okay, more carbs. Focus on the whole carbs, minimally processed sources of carbohydrates that pack a lot of nutrition and fiber. Include a mixture of starches and colorful fruits. Quinoa, farro, millet, potatoes, yogurt. Fats. Aim for a mix of whole food fats like nuts and seeds, blended with whole foods like nut butters and pressed oils, for example, olives and avocado oils, okay? Now, some protein, meaning smaller. Okay, if you notice here, there's some of the same products on each one of these. What this means is you're going to eat more eggs and whites and fish and shellfish in your protein category, but less of uncultured cottage cheese and medium lean meats. Okay? You're going to try and eat more beans and lentils than white rice. You're going to try and have more avocado and avocado oil than peanut oil. Okay? There's different degrees of what we need to consume. Okay? Now, eat less of fried meats, chicken fingers, fried food, high-fat ground meat, high-fat sausages, processed food, or for example, fish that are high in mercury. Try to stay away from the pepperoni sticks, people. The carbs, these foods are also rich sources of fat, so be mindful of both their carbohydrates and fat content. Cereal bars, fruit juices, flavored milk, honey, molasses, syrup, all of these you should be trying to eat less. And these fats, bacon, sausage, butter, margarine, processed cheese, corn oil or cottonseed oil or sunflower oil. Look at the kind of oil you're using to cook, people. It is very easy to go and look for avocado oil or olive oil. Okay, if you go over here, you see that there's extra virgin olive oil, walnut oil, avocado oil. These are a lot better. Virgin and light olive oil or expelled pressed canola oil, sesame oil, or flaxseed oil is even better than the other kinds of oil that we're supposed to have less. Okay, corn oil, cottonseed, sunflower, are those the ones that we're supposed to have less of? Okay, now when you're considering vegetables, eat the rainbow. Think about all the colors that are in the rainbow: yellow, red, purple, try the white and green. Eat a variety of colorful fruit and starchy vegetables. These also help you to eat the rainbows, okay, even if they're in the carbohydrate category. Okay, now if you don't like veggies that much, use herbs and spices and aromatics. All these help you enhance flavors, and they will provide even more healthy benefits. Okay, so go out and research how it is that you can make your plate proportionate. Okay, base your food choices on your goals. The food proportions of your food intake that come from the eat more and eat some and eat less category depends on how you eat now and what your goals are. Okay, so if you notice, we have the eat more, eat some, and eat less divided into 4 different pie charts. So go through this and look at what it is exactly that you're aiming for. Adjust for your preferences and lifestyles. Okay, your eat more, eat some, and eat less list is unique to you and may evolve as your goals, likes, and dislikes shift over time. So try and make a chart. This is an example: protein, carbs, and fats and veggies. And you can make a list of what you want to do and post it on your refrigerator. And how do you add? Well, first you have to figure out what it is that you want and what macronutrients you need. What is your eating style? What is the food that is commonly eaten by your community? Okay, and also how close it is to a whole food. Remember, the more processed the food, the further it moves towards the eat less category. And of course, you're the boss. These are just some ideas to get you started, but you know best what works for you. Sustainable nutrition always prioritizes the foods and flavors you enjoy, the things you know how to cook or prep, and the portions that make sense to you. So, this is metabolism. Like I said, it is a very complex topic. It will take a lot longer than half an hour for us to cover everything that we need to know about metabolism. But I invite you to go out there and research on the points that you would like to know a little bit more of. Internet is a wonderful source of information. Also, feel free, like we said, to leave your comments and doubts and questions underneath, and we are happy to help you figure everything out. Have a great day, and I will see you next time. My name is Here's to Health. Goodbye.